Welcome to the Giddy Goose Show, where stories come alive. Do you love surprises? How about stories when people discover new, unexpected delights in places they never dared to look? Or stories when the underdog gets to gut punch the villains and win? We are back with the next episode from our anthology, The One With. This one's called The One with the Blue Dress. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the episode.
So listen, I finally made it. What? How? Let me tell you. Just stay with me, okay? So it all started this Wednesday. I woke up at 5 and Victor was waiting for me at the ATM. At the end of the road, he was rocking his day-old stubble with his blonde hair bristling in the morning breeze. He looked cool and hot in his tee and those worn-out jeans. These Firangs, no, they can pull off anything, I tell you. He leaned in for a hug, greeting me good morning, and I giggled, blushing. I did not want to let go. I wanted to rip that t-shirt off and instead I hopped onto the bike and we set off for a wilderness trek. He was surprised that I had booked him for a weekday, but glad to make the extra bucks. I guess a German wilderness guide in Bangalore didn't earn that much. Anyway, I held him tight, soaking in his masculine scent, feeling the muscular body, holding on a little too hard on speed bumps, flirting endlessly on every possible occasion. I had left my inhibitions back home. Sorry, Mama, but I really needed this. Him, right then. I felt alive, flirting and teasing. The trek was breathtaking, literally. Well, I was out of breath in the first 30 minutes. He was nice though. Let me take short breaks, but mostly kept pushing me, encouraging me. But he also realized that finishing the trek was not my goal. Once or twice, I saw him check me out as I took pictures of the trees, the rocks, and the bugs with my new DSLR. We circled back to the base and set camp for the night. Sitting by the campfire, we talked about the weather, family, that sort of boring stuff. Finally moving on to more interesting things like his bike, his city, his adventures. At some point, I remember walking over, holding his face in my hands and kissing him deeply. And after that was the best trekking I've ever done. If you know what I mean. The 2 weeks of Pilates clearly paid off. But if you think that was wild, wait for it. The next day was wilder. No more camping rodeos with hunky strangers. Just a plain old resignation slammed into the face of my jackass boss. You should have seen the look on his face, okay? It felt almost as good as my bow chicka wow with Victor. I couldn't stop smiling as my boss, ex-boss, got up in slow motion, clearly in shock. Had the letter gone to the HR, I am sure he would have taken a deep dive into a mammoth-sized pile of cow dung. I felt no mercy. I raised a finger right to his face, my eyes burning a final warning into his mind. Amidst a lot of whimpering, I heard him offer me a nice severance bonus and assure me that he would get the paperwork sorted. He'll never harass an employee again. I was smiling as I walked into an empty cubicle in the loo. I started to giggle and then laugh hysterically, tears smudging my kajal into puddles of blackness. I took a selfie. I look like Frankenstein and a cargo truck had a child. And 5 seconds later, lo and behold, 26 likes on Instagram. I mean, it's amazing what people like these days, no? Huh? Then on Friday, I binged watched the hell out of Friends. All 10 seasons. And planned my first solo trip to Egypt. Cairo, Luxor, Giza, and all that jazz. The pharaohs, the pyramids, the deserts. Oh, I thought of asking Victor to join me, but that would be a bit too much, no? Thinking of our time as one-time thing makes it special. And I am sure Egypt has its own share of chiseled men with gorgeous eyes. What else? The chalet I have booked in Giza is thoda sa pricey, but I fell in love with those white plastered walls at the first sight. I had to have it. Just like I had to have Victor. Interesting how he pops up quite often in my thoughts, doesn't he? Sneaky bugger. Oh, another message from my bank. Uh-oh, my savings are disappearing at an alarming rate. I'm gonna be broke soon, but I don't really care. Dad has offered to help and I've ordered him to chill. But their generation doesn't know how to, especially mamas. Mine fusses over me for little things, from blackheads to drinking garam milk at night. I wish she would just give it a break. Anyways, tonight I won't be having any milk, just a flow of unlimited cocktails. Why? Because I am headed to a college reunion party and I am wearing this gorgeous dress that I bought last week. A blue dress in cool satin and chiffon. A neckline that allows me to tease, and the slit down the left lets my legs do the flirting. Plus, Tanya is coming. My old roommate from college. Wow, was she wild and popular. I was the shy, dorky one, trying too hard not to do anything wrong. I never had a cigarette, always said no to drinks, stayed away from dating, and basically, I was an utter disaster. A good girl, but also a kind of loser. Tanya would come back to the room late at night, sometimes even the next morning, and she'd tell me tales about her flirtations and conquests, and I used to marvel at her guts. I wanted to be like her. Only that I was too chicken. But tonight, I am going to be fearless. Ha! And why not? Last few days have been a taster for how yummy the dish called life can be. Like a crash course on how happy I could be if I dared a little. And I just want to live on my own terms. Like I want to eat a whole tub of ice cream without worrying. I want to go out with my friends and party. I want to get high. I want to wear dresses that flaunt my figure. I want to flirt the hell out of guys like Victor. Oh, him again. I want to travel the world and have flings. I want to try tequila and learn pole dance. I want to fall in love. I want to live by my choices. After all, I am finally cancer-free. No, not that kind that affects your body, but the other kind. The one that eats away your sense of self. 6 years spent in the company of a benign-looking man who chipped away my essence, pushing spontaneity down a whirlpool of his calculations and planning. Not abusive or wild, just clueless about whether to eat pani puri or bhel puri without checking its nutritional value first. His Royal Highness had added another S to his already boring name. I wanted to tell him about a word that he reminded me of, starting with an A and having two S's at the end. But seriously, he sucked my carefree personality into the malignant boredom of his life. We'd go for expensive holidays to Dubai and Australia, but they were as laid back as the timetable of a prisoner. Even our lovemaking was fitted into a calendar and had the steaminess of a dead fish in the deep freezer. Slowly, I started to disappear, losing myself in the walls he'd been building around us. Until my 30th birthday last month, when I decided that enough is enough. So I finally plotted my escape from our manicured apartment with the fancy seaside view. I left him a printed note in his favorite font with the perfect indentation. I hope he was happy with my effort.
Hope you liked the story. If yes, tell your friends about us and stay tuned for the next episode. Until then, stay well.